wow, very interesting. Honestly, very nice. I know the moon looks a little weird, but we're gonna get into that. Now, in the past, you guys had the Nine of Pentacles, so y'all are feeling very confident, very stable. You guys are very independent, and you had a lot of confidence in yourself. And I feel like this is a long time coming for some of you guys. You guys have been working very hard, very diligently, and you guys are finally seeing the abundance that you've been putting so much work into. And you guys have also been reaffirmed of your, of your worth. I feel like this is diva status. You guys have refound your kingdom, okay? Reestablished that kingdom. In the past here, you have the Hierophant, excuse me. Excuse me. In the past, you have the Hierophant coming up here. And the Hierophant does indicate here, commitment, routine, structure, way of doing things. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this confidence that you have, this sense of independence, this, good feeling stuff that you're going through right now. It does have a lot to do with potentially being committed to the work that you've been putting in, committed to yourself, committed to your relationships. For those of you that are, this could be that you're single, but it could also mean that you guys have a routine, you have a structure, you have, you have practices that you do every day. Not necessarily it has to be anything in regards to like prayer or anything like that, but it could be that you have, exercise routines, things like that. And I feel like as far as love goes, you've shown yourself commitment. You've shown that you are committed to yourself, which is absolutely wonderful. And therefore, externally, you have the Hangman, the Magician coming out here, which is also another card that indicates confidence. And I feel like as well, this confidence made you feel absolutely prepared to take on anything and everything that comes your way. It's beautiful. And I feel like with this sort of, this sort of energy coming up, you guys have definitely been able to manifest, and especially continue to manifest the abundance that you guys have gotten. This doesn't necessarily have to mean money. It can mean love. It can mean anything that you feel is abundant to you. But as far as this goes, for those of you that are in a relationship right now, this could be that you guys are in a relationship, or you guys found stability in this relationship. Typically, if being that you guys are a fire sign, I would say this is a relationship in which there is like a lot of commitment, and you feel very confident in manifesting where you guys are. So this is not really a bad energy. I know for some people there may be that there's a bit of boredom here, or you may be in a relationship with somebody that gives you everything, but a relationship, but love, or but emotion. But I don't think so, because you have a lot of really great standing cards here. Pretty much this entire row is major arcana, by the way. You got major arcana card here in place of the minor arcana that's at the very end. But we're gonna get to this here just right now. Excuse me. Now you guys have the moon coming up in the present, so there is a bit of confusion here, a lot of intense energies, no doubt, but there is a bit of uncertainty when the moon comes up. There also could be facing a lot of fears, facing some things that may not be, easy on a daily basis to deal with. So for some of you guys, there could be like this energy. Not necessarily energy, but this could be this period where you kind of are having a hard time seeing things clearly, tuning into your emotions. The moon requires, will definitely rely on your intuition. So there's a lot of going on faith with this period of time. And this going on faith internally has a lot to do with manifestation. Because you have the Empress here. So if this could be in regards to domestic situations, this could be in regards to somebody that someone someone that is, Venus ruled, Taurus or Libra. But I get this sense here that with the Empress coming up, this has a lot to do with what you want to create, right? But this is about, the Empress is about creativity, giving birth to something new. Not let alone domestic situations or comfort. And I feel like, this could be that there's uncertainty in regards to what is actually comfortable right now. There's not a lot of comfort going on, or there's some uncertainty about creativity right now. They don't know what to create. I feel like right here you've been comfortable and pretty satisfied here, but now as far as comfortability goes, like there's a lot of uncertainty with what's going on with the Empress energy internally. Like, as far as the Empress goes, like, I really feel like this has a lot to do with not just comfort, but it has a lot to do with creativity. Okay, in regards to manifesting, maybe you're not necessarily sure of what to manifest, what to give birth to. And externally, you have Justice. So this is about karma. So karma is coming up here. Justice is about balancing the scales, correcting the wrongs, or evening the odds. Justice is also legal things. This could also be marriage. You guys could have been proposed to recently. Justice is not just divorce. Like, just like how death is not just death. Death is also rebirth. Justice is not just divorce. It's also marriage and union. So there could be like this union between you and this individual, and there is this intense energy that's drawing you two together. This is intense energy that is unfamiliar, and it kind of makes you uncomfortable, or it can make the other person uncomfortable, right? Because this is tapping into a sense of vulnerability that that you honestly may not feel comfortable with comfortable with outside of your inner circle, which is pretty much yourself, right? You've been comfortable in you're vulnerable and comfortable in your own space for a while. And then potentially there's somebody here that's, began a union with you, and now it's like a mending of that vulnerability, and it can be unfamiliar. So there could be like a weird adjustment period for some of you guys. Why is the moon coming up for Leo? Well, actually, why is the Empress coming up in the internal energy for Leo? Yeah. Oh, wow. The Page of Pentacles. Somebody could have offered something of great value, long-term commitment here. This could be marriage itself. But again, like, that's uncertain. Like, there's some uncertain energy here. Like, there's just some tapping into some old fears or some things that are not very comfortable right now. Right? But it's an adjustment period in a sense. Because when I see the moon, it's like, yeah, there's some things that can't be seen, but you have to go on faith. You have to allow your intuition to guide you. And internally, the Empress is already a married woman. You have the Hierophant here, and you have Justice, commitment in the past, and then present. This is union, this is law, this is contracts, and then you have the Page of Pentacles with the High Priestess here, which really goes hand in hand with Justice. So that's talking about like a union. I don't know if there's a contract here involved in this, but there is some sort of offer of long-term commitment, and there is this period of just like, this period of intense energy and vulnerability as well. Wow. Okay, so moving on to the future, you have the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles does indicate here a balance, a give and take. And this is about, again, this is very justice-like in a sense, because justice is about balancing the scales. And I feel like this, for some of you guys, if this isn't like a marriage of any sort, or like something in regards to a long-term commitment or having anything to do with contracts, it could be that there's some things that needed to be settled. This could be an apology. This could be, settling an argument, what I'm saying? Because the justice will be served here, right? And justice is usually putting an end to some sort of argument or disagreement or dispute. And I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, it's really going hand in hand. Like, this is now the process of balancing the scales. However, internally, the Tower comes up. So there is some things that unexpectedly happen, or maybe some unexpected epiphany. But there's some uncertainty, again, still with the future, especially in your internal energy having something to do with you. Maybe there's something that you end up doing, Leo, that just kind of like, puts an end to something. Like, you know what, you're just gonna do whatever you're gonna do. You're just gonna pop off. Okay. You may end up exposing somebody this week. You may be, because you hear externally you have the Page of Swords. This is somebody, talking some talk. And usually this conversation, this sort of communication here, is not the easiest to receive or to give, usually. Or it's usually harder to receive than to give, to be absolutely honest, because this is a child swinging a sword. This is blunt and absolute truth. There's no beating around the bush with the Page of Swords. So there could be that you're exposing somebody in regards to a sort of righting the wrongs. You're committing justice. You're doing some sort of readjustment here. Because right now, this is a period of where, internally, or where you are now, there's not a lot of, there's not a lot of certainty what's going on here. Let me just go ahead and quickly clarify the moon. Why is the moon coming up? Or what do you mean by the moon? What is unclear in the present for Leo? What's unclear for Leo is death. What needs to be released. So something in regards to some intense energies coming up in regards to what needs to be released, and you're not sure what needs to be let go. Why is death coming up? Why is death coming up for this? The Hangman. See? Okay. This is a change of perspective. Waiting to surrender of some sort. Wow. So there is something going on, guys, that does require some sort of releasing of the past. Of some sort of release from the past here. Because, before death is the Hangman. And that's the process of it. Perhaps there's a new perspective that was gained, and now it's time to release that sort of previous perspective to be able to carry out the new part, the rebirth. And that rebirth itself is what puts you in a period of like uncertainty, right? Because you've transitioned from a way of thinking, especially in regards to relationships. All right. But in the future, you have some expose stuff going on here. You've got this bouncing of the scales. It's like you're doing this because with the Six of Pentacles is a minor arcana. This is your free will. This is what you do. Major arcana, it's a little bit more out of your hands. This is more of how you guys handle the situation versus you actually causing it. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, there's some expose stuff going on in the present. Perhaps there's some sort of information that was gained in the past, and now through the transition necessary, this put you in a place of some intense energy, and it has a lot to do with your home life, potentially contracts. Maybe there's something that you may have had to apologize for. Someone had to apologize to you about. Reconciliation. Wow. Yeah. See. Reconciliation. Justice is about apologies and balancing the scales, and I feel like with that Empress and the Page of Pentacles, yeah, it put probably this relationship or the situation with some sort of individual that's coming up here has put you guys in a place of vulnerability due to just something that needed a change of perspective, due to something that needed to be released, and this transition has put you in a very vulnerable space. Not comfortable, and it's not easy to go through, but this is in regards to some sort of commitment, some sort of stability. Empress is about, creating something new, giving birth to something new ideas, but she's also like I said, a spouse. So with the Justice card, this could be that there's some sort of apology that was given here. Apology that was received, or some sort of righting of the wrongs here. That doesn't necessarily have to be an apology, but there were some sort of things that were happening in regards to justice. This could as well, just like I said before, just as well be marriage as it is divorce for some of you guys. But I do get this feeling that you guys have gained the confidence that was needed in the past to handle this. It's just not very easy to deal with it since there's so much major arcana energy coming out.